Do you hear it? The great serpent speaks to you, guides you. You return. What news do you have of Anasko? Then my vision did not betray me.
Well, it would seem I owe you an apology, sister.
There is no need, brother. Your skepticism only strengthens us.
As you say. But, to the matter at hand, did Anasko mention anything that could aid us in his extraction? Then we must continue our work on the morning device. But it is comforting to have confirmation. And if you've spoken to him once, it's not out of the realm of possibility you could do it again.
It is much more than that. Normally when I pray for Anasko's return, I sense he is lost, fading. But when I last prayed to the Great Serpent, I felt Anasko's presence clear and distinct. Even as it receded, I felt him anchored to this world. Yes, there are some who suggest that when Jinan communed with the Great Serpent, a similar bond had been established. I believe the same is true for you and Anasko.
I would need time to attempt a scientific explanation for why or how this happened, but for now, let us assume my sister is correct.
And that is the essence of faith. I do not know what lies ahead. My visions do not go beyond this point. But I do know this link would play a role. In fact, I am certain of it.
Agreed. And with this settled, we can now continue the work of aligning the noble houses. Together, we will find a way to complete the morning device.
Your progress is looking good. How are you feeling about it? Since you've been accepted, I wonder if you'll see our influence on the settled systems.
You can't be serious granting them an audience. This is exactly the impression we don't want to give.
Please, Jamal. Don't you see how all this works in our favor? It's not up for discussion. I won't risk what we've worked so hard to achieve. It's done.
No, you'd risk our future and reputation as a house. But you are the chosen elder.
Don't patronize me. The Great Serpent spared our house. We are favored here. And shouldn't you get back to the council? We can't afford to be absent at a time like this.
I guarantee I'm not missing much. But you're right. I'll be heading back soon enough. May the Great Serpent bless you.
So, Akris has sent our newest Vindicator to inquire about Sahima. Don't worry, Jamal's already told me all about you. I'm Razma, Elder of House Kadik and head of the Ministry of Conjunction. Well, it's also an honor to meet one as interesting as yourself. I wouldn't have suspected an outsider to be made promised. But who am I to argue with the Great Serpent's choice? I know the Council is looking to Sahima for answers, but the truth is, she's been taken, along with other members of the House. They're being held hostage by zealots, and now they're demanding negotiations.
This is a major overreach. I have never known the zealots to be so bold.
As much as I'd welcome the expertise, the zealots would never allow an outsider to participate. But the negotiations aren't where I need assistance. The zealots have yet to name specifics. At best, they'll demand an inordinate amount of credits or firearms. Worst case, a seat at the High Council or even the reinstatement of their house. House Malene. They know we can't risk Sahima for Dazra's sake. So, they won't hold back when it comes to demands. House Malene was fully dedicated to Jandar Varun. They objected when his brother, Jarek, was chosen to take over as leader. They knew he would bring an end to the Serpent's crusade. It's why they abandoned their house and became the zealots you know today, to continue what they believe is Jinan and Jandar's work. Aha. My thoughts exactly. Normally I'd have agents doing everything possible to find them. But we too suffered losses. We need to be here. Present. I couldn't risk more lives. It's the only reason I even agreed to these negotiations. But now that you're here, I can finally take action. And that's where the issue lies. I don't know where the zealots are keeping Sahima, but I have a good idea who does. Their name is Merrick. Merrick is a Kadik, and they also work for me as an agent in the Ministry of Conjunction. This is where matters get complicated. It's not the family name that complicates matters here. As I said, Merrick works for me in the Ministry of Conjunction. They've been establishing an inside relationship with the Zealots for some time now, on my orders. Forcing them to give up the information could jeopardize all they've worked for. So don't expect them to be forthcoming. Get the information any way you see fit. as long as no physical harm comes to them.
Understood.
Merrick is proud of what they've accomplished, so I doubt they'll give up information easily. If being persuasive isn't your strong suit, perhaps appealing to their substantial ego may help. If you can stomach it. Just don't be direct. I'm sure it would put them on the defensive. Either that, or make them completely unwilling to talk. See that you do. You'll find Merrick upstairs in the meditation room.
Such a gift. Though your enemies might disagree.
You're no member of House Kadik. What are you doing here? And you are? My help? Oh, wait. You're that heretic turned promised. So, tell me, what would a chosen one such as yourself want with someone like me? Oh, I certainly don't. I may have many talents, but mind reading isn't one of them. Well, you could have led with that. I guess this means the High Council is still asking Auntie Razma where Sahima is. And if you're here making demands, she obviously has decided to make use of you rather than undergo sincere negotiations. I see what's going on here. Well, I am one of the few to garner any amount of trust with the Zealots, so she should be. I can't imagine where the Ministry of Conjunction would be without me. Yes, I can see the jealousy all over their faces. It's nice to see I'm being properly recognized. I may excel in my skills, but it doesn't mean the hours I put in are any less. Exactly. There's still research, analysis, documentation. Too much documentation, if you ask me. But altogether, I have the exact talents needed to do this job, which is why I was entrusted with the Zealots in the first place. I admit it hasn't always been easy. They are Zealots, you know. Some days, it takes everything. I can't even tell you how much time and effort it's been to sway the Zealots my way. Not to mention the stress over my own personal well-being. I may be the best at what I do, but I'm not stupid. The Zealots do have the element of unpredictability. I had a feeling this conversation was going to take a turn. I've worked hard to obtain my position with the Zealots. And like I've told Rosma 1,000 times, I have no reason to believe they're going to hurt my dear cousins, especially Sahima. So, as far as I'm concerned, that information stays with me. Sahima isn't just being held hostage, they're putting her to work. The Zealots aren't stupid. They know what Sahima was involved in, and if they can beat us to that tech, they're going to try. And you think they'd believe your word over mine? Now leave me alone before I call security and have you escorted out. Or worse.
If the system is protected, there will hopefully be valuable data.
How's the documentation
Hmm?
going?
Something I can do for you?
You must have gotten the location. Very resourceful. And luckily, a location I'm familiar with. If my intel is correct, you can find Shadow Station Epsilon in the Badlands, north of Dazra. I can send you the coordinates. The Shadow Stations were established during the Serpent's Crusade. A series of secret military installations that few knew about, and even fewer may remember. The idea was to have isolated centers focused on different aspects of furthering the Crusade. This way, if one fell, it wouldn't endanger the others. Epsilon was once a research station, with a focus on grav drive manipulation. The Zealots have since vastly expanded upon it. But it makes sense if they intend to use Sahima to their advantage. Shadow Station Epsilon is one of many Zealot bases scattered throughout. As I mentioned before, I wasn't willing to risk agent lives in order to scout them all. If anything happens to the hostages, they will lose a lot more than leverage.
We will do whatever is necessary to bring Sahima and the others back safely.
Now that we have a rescue mission underway, I'll speak to Merrick about setting up the negotiations. The current plan is to hold them at one of the geothermal power stations. Meet us there when Sahima and the others are safe. I see you have a grasp on how these types of negotiations work. I'll stall the Zealots as long as I can, which shouldn't be an issue. That being said, I'd still appreciate it if you could act quickly. Now, Jamal wants an update before you leave. Just don't let her distract you for too long.
Vindicator, a word before you go. Tell me, Vindicator, what do you know about the Zealots? I'm impressed. You've already learned quite a bit from your time with us. The Zealots are widely frowned upon within our society. They're a remnant of the Serpent's Crusade, days we'd like to forget. Has my dear sister given you any history on our house's relations with the Zealots? I see. I should have expected as much. Rasma would have everyone believe she only wishes to keep an eye on the Zealots, so the Council can make informed decisions. The truth is, she's had this particular group of Zealots under her thumb for quite some time. This is only a problem now because she's lost control. That is the real reason why Rasma hasn't informed the High Council, and I'm sworn to silence.
That sounds like an incredibly foolish plan.
As a member, I can say it certainly is not. House Kadik already has a reputation for being sympathetic to the Zealots, but the truth is far worse. Rasma wants the Zealots to back House Kadik, so the balance of power between the noble houses would shift to us. She's been employing them, paying them in supplies that aid their blind crusade. Rasma would believe they want to reintegrate or even reestablish House Maline, and she's a fool for it. The Zealots want nothing but the means to carry out their war. Credits, weapons, and ships. And these very supplies would be used to harm not only your people, but our own as well. It's not for everyone. What none of us expected was the disaster that is the Scaled Citadel. The aftermath is what allowed the Zealots to grab Sahima and the others, flipping the balance of power in their favor. Rasma has lost control and is putting House Kadik's reputation and power at risk. And that's what I wish to speak to you about. House Kadik shouldn't be associating with Zealots at all, except on an extermination level. But worse, we absolutely cannot be supplying them with ordnance of any kind. We need to cut ties with the Zealots altogether. Far from it. I want you to put an end to any connections between House Kadik and the Zealots. And while my position won't allow me to be blunt, I'll still make it clear. Should the hostages not survive, Rasma would blame the Zealots and cut all ties.
An extreme sacrifice for the sake of your house.
What we need is Sahima's research, which she has with her. You just need to bring it back. Think about it if you must. But if you care about your people, you'll come to the same conclusion as I have. And when you do, just know that we can't afford any loose ends. No witnesses. As far as everyone else is concerned, the hostages were dead when you arrived, and you exacted revenge in House Kadik's name. I trust you'll make the right decision. Until then, I'll see you at the negotiations.
This area is lucky to be unaffected.
You seem to have taken on more than you can carry. If you require assistance, please, just say so.